Neil from Essex here to introduce you to a very special new Essex customer. Tractor Time with Tim is headed out of here with the new Kubota LX 3310. I'll tell you a little bit about Tim, some of the things he's going to be doing with his tractor, and tell you a little bit of a customer story.
Essex, a helping hand with your land.
Yeah, you could sell ice to an Eskimo, man.
I try.
If you can sell a Kubota tractor to me, you can sell to anybody.
So Tim's got a fleet full of green tractors, right?
I do.
And we're sliding an orange one in there.
Yep.
A little proud of that.
Yeah, I wanted to try this one. You said this was the newest model, right? I mean, it replaces that 3350, which always looked nice to me, but maybe
it's
didn't have the best
probably not the
reputation.
best one to have online there a little
But
bit.
I think this is the size for me.
It'll do great work for you, I'm sure. The lot of things to like here. Picking up a standard LX 3310 LA 535 front loader with a skid steer coupler and a bucket on the front, and these are R14 tires. Really common configuration for us, but really excited to see how it works out with your variety of implements. What kind of things are you going to be using the tractor for?
Well, I've got several. Well, you guys have seen on our channel. I mean, we do a lot of different stuff. We do a lot of mowing. I intend to hook this up to a 10-foot flex wing mower. Do you think there's any chance that I can pull a 10?
That is a video I will watch. It may. It really may. I mean, obviously, like anything, you're going to find the limits of a tractor like that pretty quickly, but I think everybody will be impressed by how well that does.
Yeah, with the 3 blades instead of a single blade, you can handle a lot more mower.
Yeah.
Now, it will be the upper limits on this machine, admittedly, but with the hydrostatic transmission, we can go really slowly in those heavy areas, right?
Yeah.
So overall, we think we can still get as much done. That's one thing we want to do. We're going to try stump grinder. Hope we can handle the stump grinder. He didn't say anything.
You have the fleet of things to be able to really challenge a tractor, and we didn't cover it here from the beginning. So Tim has a very significant YouTube channel, quite a bit larger than ours here. If you want to see a lot of other good tractor stuff, Tim is definitely a guy worth watching, even though his selection of color up until this point is a little suspect. We're definitely bringing some objectivity back into this, which we like. We're going to enjoy seeing that, see how an orange one fits into the fleet. But I most am going to enjoy being able to see you take this wide variety of tractors now and apply all these different machines to a variety of implements. I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah, what we have found is a spec sheet doesn't really help you to determine the differences in the tractors. I mean, there are just subtle differences in these machines, and sometimes not so subtle differences that the spec sheet doesn't describe.
And so that time in the seat and that variety of stuff should really be able to educate people in a way that glossy brochure just doesn't hit.
Now, you're going to have to work with me. The pedals are positioned a little bit wrong on this tractor, but I guess maybe I'll figure it out.
Or I would say wrong depending who you ask here, Tim. I mean, there's wrong is in the eyes of the beholder, right?
I think that's beauty, Neil.
That's beauty. So we've done a video on your channel already, and we don't need to go through and duplicate everything back here, but there's value in people understanding the way that you chose to configure the back end of this machine. There's a lot of things back here that are different than what another LX 3310 owner might have.
Yep.
So run me through that here a little bit.
Well, one thing here is this is a Power Beyond, right? You actually put this on. This is not a Kubota part. You actually just
we made it up for you.
Made it up for us.
Yeah.
What we haven't intended here is an attachment. Well, you think of a backhoe, right? A backhoe uses a Power Beyond so that you can just run the controls back at the hoe. Well, the attachment we've got in mind for this will actually have the controls on the attachment rather than on the tractor. And so the operator will actually be on this attachment.
Okay.
And not on the tractor. The tractor will be running, but all the control will be done back here.
So you got to subscribe to see that one.
I think you're going to like it. At least we're not totally sure we're going to get this attachment yet, so I hope we do.
Working in that direction. So part of the reason why we worked this up for you is because you've got rear remotes along with the Power Beyond and are going to be doing a third function as well. 3 different things that all feed off of that same Power Beyond circuit. And that starts to get a little funny when you go through the installation instructions. The manufacturers don't really plan on you doing all of these things simultaneously. So having a shop like ours go through and do things like that Power Beyond circuit where we have hydraulic fittings on hand saves a lot of work.
Hydraulics is a pain for for a DIY user to handle by themselves. And you guys have just every fitting
on the
at
shelf.
your disposal.
Yeah.
You can cut hoses to any length you want and do this quickly and efficiently.
Right, efficiently is the word, right? Because it can be a real time suck to go through and try to figure this stuff out for yourself and work out what the right fittings are. So we've got a Power Beyond loop. We have a set of rear remotes tucked back in here behind the wheel. You could interpret that as being protected or as hard to get to, depending on how you're going to be using
whether
them.
You're the salesperson or the critic. Yeah, these are interesting. They are quite hidden, I would say. A little bit difficult to get to.
Protected. On the 3-point hitch here itself, we have 2 optional kits. So we've got a 3-point quick hitch back here, which on most of our tractors now is the norm. Many machines are going out with these hitches on them now. But also the plate down here in the bottom for the extendable link arm. Little redundant, but allows you that flexibility for your wide variety of implements, because I'm sure
these larger attachments, you can't drag the attachment.
can't drag it. What is, I mean, we talk about this, that this quick hitch is not universal, right? What is your take rate on these things actually working?
I have about 90% of my attachments work with them, but we try to make that a criterion.
Okay.
But we do have attachments that just simply do not work. We've got a large stump grinder, for instance, with the swing arm type, and the top link is maybe this high when the I mean it's
way off.
Way off. Not even close. So yeah, it's still a challenge that people have.
And then lastly, we'll have the ratcheting adjustment over here for your right hand to do your leveling on your 3-point. Have your other tractors had that?
No, I've never had that before, and so that's why I wanted this option, was just to see how it would actually work in practice. The others just have a jam nut and a hex shaft,
which is
I use a wrench.
Totally typical on most machines. Yeah, so that is an option. That's not standard equipment on these. It's a pretty inexpensive little kit.
Okay.
So we've covered this tractor in depth in other videos before and don't need to go through and repeat every little attribute of the machine, but it's those accessory kits and configuration things that are unique, and one of those unique things is the tire. So these will be a pair of R14 hybrid tires, some of which you have experience with.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's 3 brands of these now. Galaxy has one, Carlisle has that VersaTurf, and the Goodyear R14Ts, right? Well, they just are all the rage right now. Everybody wants this hybrid tire.
Everybody likes the hybrid tire. There's a lot of things to sell for the hybrid tire. It's versatility, it's an ability to clean out. The one thing I feel like we lack on the dealership side at this point is a little bit of knowledge of how each one of these things really works out in the field for customers. So I'm looking forward to seeing this tire work for you, because it can no longer work for me. So these are my tires. So
they were
my tires.
Neil.
So
now they're my tires. Thank you very much. I told Neil that I was not going to buy one of these tractors unless I got the R14Ts.
So we
came through.
So we ordered this tractor some 3 months ago at this point, and these versatile tires are hard to find at this point, and I've been unable to get another set, so we are removing the tires from my tractor and sending them down the road with Tim today.
I appreciate it. You'll do anything to make the sale.
Oh, thank you, Tim. Dedicated salesperson.
It is bright, Neil.
It is bright, snowy, and cold.
No, it's orange.
It'll fit right in. You're gonna have to adjust the brightness control on your cameras a little bit now for all this. It's gonna light up your shop when you pull it inside, like the sun.
And we should say that this is not sponsored. I think this episode is sponsored by me. I'm like, buying your next week's meals for your kids here.
So we've talked a little bit of the importance that we clarify. This is not a sponsored YouTube tractor, right? Tim is actually buying this machine from us. This is not a corporate loaner. This is not a Kubota machine. And there's a lot of that out on YouTube right now. And we've talked at length here today about how that compromises a lot of channels in some way. There's a lot of content being made out there today by people who have been given tractors or own a machine, and that colors your perspective of these machines. So Tim and I both have developed an appreciation for one another in trying to do these things as above board as possible. And so it's really important that you guys know, if you're should subscribe to Tim's channel. He makes good content, even if it's a little green at times, because I would feel that this is probably one of the best sources for accurate information that you're going to find on YouTube. This guy carries a lot less bias towards this equipment, and a lot less color in his opinions of things than what you're going to find in a lot of other places. So
I appreciate you saying that. Now, in transparency, we do have a relationship with that green manufacturer, at least our local dealer, to help us have some more of the equipment on our property. But if you watch our content, you can tell that we try to be as fair with the positives and the negatives, no matter what color.
Really make an effort, and there's a perspective that you have from your comfort level with machinery and that kind of thing. And this is what's going to be really interesting about this: is this is going to really expose you to another brand in a big way that develops a comfort level with other equipment by owning something else. So
Absolutely.
Excited to see that go on. Cool sale. Check Tim out. Subscribe to his channel. Excellent guy. If you're shopping for a piece of equipment and we can help, or if you have parts or service needs for a machine you've already got, give us a call at Essex. Tim did. Glad to help you as well. Available at 800-222-3373 or online at Essex.com. So we don't need to repeat the things. You never do this, do you?
No. First time for me is always
Every time. That's just kind of what I thought. I mean, just everything just flows right out.
Yeah.